yesterday we received some reports that Tigray People Liberation Front was trying to reach out to other political factions in Ethiopia which have grievances against Ethiopian government. And TPLF is trying to form a joint coalition, a grand coalition to remove Abiy from power. And it is being said that a joint military and political struggle is going to be launched by TDF and other political and armed forces in all the regions of Ethiopia. I thought of having a detailed look at these reports because we have seen since the start of Tigray war that activities of armed groups in several states of Ethiopia against Ethiopian government have intensified. Is there any possibility of a grand coalition against Abiy's government? Firstly, viewers, we have seen that armed groups have intensified their attacks against state forces, regional forces after the start of Tigray war. Just recently, on the 24th of July, Gambela Liberation Front was formed by Gatluak, Buam, Paul. I did a video on that as well. And GLF said in a statement that it had exhausted all political options. Now it was taking up arms against Prosperity Party in Gambela. In Sidama, we saw a statement on the 26th of July, viewers. Sidama National Liberation Front, SNLF, issued a statement. It condemned deployment of Sidama regional forces in Amhara to fight Tigray Defense Force. In fact, SNLF showed solidarity with the people of Tigray. Then we were in BG, Banishangal Gomas. I reported yesterday about a city taken by BLF, Banishangal Liberation Front. BLF has taken control of Kamashi city in Kamashi zone of BG. Earlier we heard that BLF had taken control of Saddle Warada in Kamashi. We heard of BLF fighting regional forces in Shorkolo as well. Shorkolo is in Asosa zone of BG. So in BG as well, there is expansion of the activities of this armed group for BLF, Banishangal Liberation Front. Lastly was Oromia. Oromia has a key role. Two main political parties, OLF, Oromo Liberation Front, and OFC, Oromo Federalist Congress, they boycotted June 21st elections, and they have a huge following in Oromia. Oromo Liberation Army is claiming to be in control of almost 85% of eastern Guji zone and large parts of Burana as well. On southern front, in southern part of Oromia, they have made some gains. And today we saw some reports that OLA had taken control of Salale, which is almost 100 kilometers away from Addis Ababa, capital of Ethiopia. OLA is also increasing its attacks against Oromia forces. And after Oromia regional forces were deployed in Amhara, OLA has stepped up its attacks. But OLA so far has not issued any statement against the deployment of Oromia forces in Amhara region. We haven't heard OLA so far talking about this deployment. So there is unrest in Oromia, BG, Sidama, Somali region as well. In Amhara too, viewers, we have seen that Agao Liberation Front (ALF) has been formed. TDF is backing this organization. The organization is saying that Wolo, Woghimra, where Agao people live, this region is an independent and separate region. It's not part of Amhara region. We saw clashes between Kimant and Amharas as well, and thousands of Kimants have migrated. They have crossed into Sudan. Then during the course of this war, we saw clashes between Oromos and Amharas in border areas, Amhara-Oromia border areas, areas like Ataya town, North Shore zone, and Oromia special zone. And Tigray Defense Force is advancing towards these areas. TDF is in control of North Wolo zone. From north, it will advance towards South Wolo. Once TDF is in control of South Wolo, you could see Oromos joining TDF. That is why Tigray People Front is reaching out to form a grand coalition against Ethiopian government. But viewers, all these groups which I have named, all these groups were operating during TPLF led government as well. When TPLF was in power, TPLF was ruling Ethiopia. Back then, all these groups were active against TPLF led federal government. So all these groups, they are not happy with the past performance of TPLF as well. But in Abiy's era, they have been pushed against the wall as well. That is why we could see formation of a grand coalition against PM Abiy Ahmed. Maybe not on political front. I don't think that politically you can launch a political movement which would force Abiy out of power. On military level, you can see collaboration among different groups to remove Abiy from power. And once Abiy is weak, then you could see political parties taking to the streets. But so far he is in command. Regional governments are behind Abiy, they are supporting Abiy. And no signs of any large scale state movement so far.